Hey y'all, it's Barbara and Tim, and we are at Oak Cemetery in Fort Smith, Arkansas. Originally, Oak Cemetery was called the City Cemetery, and it's a historical cemetery. But I'm going to show you this grave of Shephard Busby, and we'll let Tim tell you about the cemetery. Go ahead and tell him about the cemetery, and then we'll
Well, I just wanted to point out that it is the oldest cemetery here in Fort Smith, as far as they know. I mean, as far as records are documented, it says that this cemetery has the oldest monument dated at 1842, which was the same year that Fort Smith was incorporated.
facing this. The camera's facing this side.
Oh,
There, that'll work. I'll get on this side of you.
but this was the cemetery right here. This is where everybody was buried at that time when Fort Smith was incorporated. So go ahead and tell about this
Okay.
Shephard Busby.
Okay, so Shephard Busby was Shephard Busby, 1835, Deputy U.S Marshall, hung 27th of April, 1892, for the killing of Deputy U.S Marshal Bernard Conley, hung by G.S. White as George Malodon refused to do the deed. Okay, so I'll tell you a little bit about Shephard Busby. He was the reason why Bernard Conley went to arrest him for, the records say, adultery, and that's when Shephard Busby shot and killed Bernard Conley. But Shephard Busby had a girl that he took in when she was just a young girl, maybe 12, 14. Her name was Tennessee, and she was 21 years old at the time of this shooting, and he had fathered, now they took her in as their daughter to raise, but he had fathered 2 children by her. So in the house, when Bernard Conley came to arrest them, was Tennessee, the 2 babies that he fathered with her, his son, which was like 20 or 21, which also he went to prison for the killing of Bernard Conley. But anyway, they shoot and kill him. He goes to arrest him for adultery because Shephard Busby was married. He was separated from his wife. He has this girl living with them, and he had fathered 2 children by her. But anyway, that's the story on Shephard Busby, and this is his stone. He is buried in the Potter's Field. And he may be the only U.S. Marshal buried in the Potter's Field.
He was hung by G.S. White because George Malodon, and Malodon was the acting hangman at the time, and he refused to do the hanging.
Okay, so that is our story on U.S. Marshal Busby. And so, Tim, where do we want to go? We're going to read some graves.
Oh, well, I'll just right down there, if you want to show that down there, that's what's called Potter's Field. And Potter's Field is what is known for, at the time, especially with Sir Isaac Parker, or Judge Isaac Parker, the hanging judge. Anyway, there in this field is at least 28 outlaws that Judge Isaac Parker sentenced to hang the gallows there in Fort Smith. And so what happened was, after they'd hang them, of course, you know, if there had no family that to claim them, or if the family didn't claim them, this is where they would bury them, because the city would pay for the funeral or the burial. And so we know there's over 28 outlaws that Isaac Parker hung right there in that field right there. Now, they were hung for bad crimes. At that time, people got hung for rape and murder. And so they were bad men. So then the other side was people that might have been homeless or something. They, didn't have any family. There wasn't any. So they may not have been a criminal or anything. They didn't have any family or any money or anything. So that's where the city paid for their burial.
So we're going to go up here on the top of this hill, and there are many historical graves.
Yeah,
up
there's
here
over 100 U.S. Marshals, deputies, and court-appointed officials buried here in this cemetery that worked under Judge Isaac Parker, or for the state.
Y'all may hear us huffing and puffing going up this hill. We are out of shape. But
It's a beautiful cemetery, and you may be able to hear the ball players in the background. We got it's baseball season, so everybody's doing baseball. You can see all the different sections out here. How this cemetery is just sectioned off. And this cemetery here, it's maintained by the city of Fort Smith. A lot of cemeteries have different. There's an ambulance. So they get funding through the city of Fort Smith to operate and maintain this cemetery. What is this?
This one just touches my heart because this little guy, I think he's like 7 or 8 years old, and he's out here by himself. From what I could find, he doesn't have any family members out here, but he's been out here a long time.
I can't read the name. Do you know what it is?
Frank W-H-I-T-E Whitefield. Frank Whitefield, born October 5th, 1860.
Looks like a 58. And died, is that 10th?
I think he died October 4th.
October the 4th of 1862, I think.
So 1862. That he couldn't have died in 1862. That's a
1858.
58.
62 would have
So,
been.
Is he 4?
Yeah, he was very young. About 4.
But this one always.
And it is in remarkable shape to be that old. But that's the difference, probably, I guess, in the way that this cemetery has been maintained and took care of. It's got a lot of moss growing on it, but it's not cracked. It's in great shape. Got one spot in it right here, but the rest of it.
You can definitely tell it's a child's grave. I already charged my mic off. Look at those. Y'all, it's really windy.
In memory of Miss Sarah Clark, born January 25th, 1807, died August the 4th, 1887. What does it say at the bottom of this?
World farewell. I must return to dust. Let's wait until the ambulance gets by.
He must have had a bad accident close by.
World, farewell, I must return to dust, till Jesus, in whom I have believed from youth to old
Age.
age, bids me rise and live with him in a world without end. Blessed are the dead
The
who
living.
who where's living at?
Oh, I don't know.
Blessed are the dead who die in the Lord. Who die in the Lord. Okay, y'all, we are so sorry that when we read, we sound like robots. It's hard to see them when you're standing close to them. When you're at a distance, you can read them better because we've had people comment that we don't know how to read. And usually you can see the stone better on the camera, on the video, for some reason. I don't know why. Okay.
This is in memory of Nancy Clark, born July 22nd, 1788, died December 27th, 1861. Looking for that blessed hope and the glorious
Appearing of the great God and our Savior,
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
These are pretty big
And down
size.
here you can just see a slight, you could see that.
Yeah.
That's the stonemaker, the one that made this stone. And this one's so much similar to it. I imagine it's got the same inscription down here at the bottom, but I think that's what that is the stonemaker.
This one's a plaque also.
I don't see anything down there, but it says Aaron Clark, born December the 21st, AD, 1812, and died November the 14th, AD, 1855. Be silent. This one's going to be difficult to read.
Here, let's read this one. Look over here. This one.
Yeah, this is beautiful stone. William.
I bet that's for Edward.
Simone is the last
Simon.
name. Or is it? Oh,
Or
Simon.
Simon. One
Simon.
or the other.
I can't read. I'm from Arkansas, so.
No, and we don't know how people pronounce their name anyway. Y'all, our last name is Schleif, and it's always butchered.
You're not supposed to say that.
It's on the channel.
I don't know what that means. Den? Seaborn Den? That must have something to do with the birth. 20th of February. They spelled it out. 1828.
I'm not sure. Y'all probably know what that word means.
It's got to mean.
Is it CESLORBEN? And I don't know. I don't know what the word means. I don't know the meaning of it.
October 1866. This is in a different language. I don't know what language that is.
Yeah.
I think this is German. I think that's all written in German. SOLI, something like that. A, or no, that may be a R. U or A G E L. Mitch.
Yeah, I don't.
I have no idea, but that's in a different language. Wow. And this one's got a hand. You see the hand? Usually they a lot of times you see a hand that's pointing, either up or down. And this has just got a hand. And so I don't know what that means either. And this one's clean. So somebody's done either some cleaning on it. Asa Clark, born June 9th, 1808, and died June 3rd, 1890. Golly, these are Emma Clark. Hetherington. Is that how you say that? I don't know. Hetherington. She was born October the 21st, 1844, and she died June 27th, 1913. Some of these monuments are huge. And a lot of robins out here, so spring is here. Oh, and this is the two teenage girls that they helped him. Felicity L. Reynolds, November the 17th, 1847 to October the 24th, 1920. James E. Reynolds, July 17th, 1837 to June 26th, 1920. And so what was the story on that?
It was in, I don't remember all the details. It is on Oak Cemetery's website.
Wasn't he a Civil War? Wasn't he injured?
Yes, he was injured, and these two girls, young ladies, rescued him and nursed him back to health. And he to wanted everybody to know that. So he had this made, and it was made and shipped from Italy.
Wow.
He thought that he wanted to
They
show
saved his life.
They saved his life, and he appreciated it until how he died in 1920. No, yes, 1920. So Company K, 30th Mississippi Regiment. So yeah, he wanted to give them credit and for them to be remembered for their deed. For okay, so let's see what these are.
I'm still fascinated by that
Let me get
monument.
a shot from here.
This is F.W. Meyer, born July the 5th, 1841, died May 2nd, 1922. He giveth his beloved sleep. Meyer. And Mary Meyer, was this his wife?
Sure, but the stones are the same.
Born 1846 and died September the 13th of 1913, asleep in Jesus. They're buried right here together. I think that was husband and wife. They're identical. Identical stones, and this is in a family plot. And these, you can see where somebody has reset the stones. These are, is that both infants? I think this is the infant son of Henry and Anna Chusewit. Not sure how to pronounce that. Kusewittt. Died August the 30th, 1898. And this is I don't think that's the same.
Is that a Meyer? Daughter of.
Looks like a F or a ED. It may be Meyer.
Okay.
Can't really tell.
January 30th, 1854.
Looks like 50 or 74. Can't tell.
Aged 1 year.
No, or is that 1 or 4? Can't tell.
Oh, maybe they can see it on the video. Okay. See where it's been repaired.
They've repaired it recently and they dug this and stood them up. They're taking good care of this cemetery.
Okay, y'all, I think we're going to wrap this up. We do have more stones, plenty of old stones to look at, and we have a couple more stories, but we're going to do several videos out here.
Yeah, and this cemetery, this is historical cemetery at Fort Smith. If you ever get a chance, you're up here or you live anywhere close, this is a cemetery to visit. Beautiful here. And there's something you can spend all day here.
Okay, y'all. So we will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.